Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Alice Mouse, author of this little guy right here. Pretty big book. These other little things right here, working on another one, where you can get that, my merchandise, all my social media, down in that description. So go down, fiddle about, use your fingers, check it out. And as always, always starting out every episode, thankful of everybody here, of everybody who is just making this channel grow every day. Welcome to the new people. Don't be afraid to get down in those comments, have conversations. The family here is so absolutely amazing, so cool, so welcoming. It's like being at a rock show where everybody's just bonding. It's the 80s all over again. So get down there and join it. Okay? Cool beans. That wasn't awkward. Anyway, and speaking of awkward, today we're going to talk about a little situation with, a very big power couple that kind of is life imitating art imitating life, but in a much odder, weirder, fucked up kind of scale. We'll find out. And while we're going to be doing that, we are going with the barrel aged quad. I love this. This is one of my favorite. It's a nice bourbon barrel. I like a good bourbon for the whiskey drinkers, bourbon drinkers, out there. I just love a good bourbon. I love, High West Whiskey. Our local is, well, they were bought out by a big company, but our local, absolutely amazing. There's actually a High West Whiskey beer that is one of the first bourbon soaks that I tried. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, this Boulevard bourbon, my easy go-to. So, all right, everybody, grab your little bourbons, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails and rocktails. Gotta get the sound of the pour. I like this one because it's not a heavy stout. Because when you think of a bourbon soak or a whiskey soak, or the best one I've ever had, Banbarana by Oscar Blues, best fucking whiskey stout or bourbon soak stout. Oh my God, so delicious. You always think of a stout, but with this, it's a nice, lighter, not as heavy drink, but you still have that good flavor. So, all right, everybody, cheers, big ears. Definitely swallowing this over Kipwinger any day. Absolutely. All right. And speaking of swallowing, there's a lot of things. And I've got to preface this episode with everything I say today is alleged. Everything is rumor, hearsay, alleged, third party, some of it first party. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I'm just saying alleged throughout the whole thing. We're going to kind of go down the rabbit hole. Not a big rabbit hole, but we're going to go visit Jay-Z and Beyonce today. Because as we know, a lot of controversy is going on. But as we know, I was a 15-year-old groupie with a fake ID that is unrepentant, that was never, ever like R. Kelly'd or anything like that. But it's not to say my story is somebody else's story. Victims need to be heard. Victims should have justice. And I stand by all victims. But like I said, everything today is alleged. There's where one person says and 2,000 other people follow, there might be a little cloud to it. But there might not. Who knows? I mean, so let's get started. So, to me, when I look at like Beyonce and Jay-Z right now, I really do think of the movie Dreamgirls. I mean, how ironic, like, that she married the big time producer, the rapper, very respected in the musical community, kind of worked his way up, very talented, all this stuff. Isn't it just strange how their relationship, she married him, it kind of becomes very selfish, very dark, very full of lies. And then when the truth comes out at the end in Dreamgirls, she does the right thing. But is that going to happen now? Because, I mean, let's start kind of how they met. And Jay-Z was well known in the music business to date the likes of Aaliyah, who we all know about the situation with R. Kelly. We all know where R. Kelly is because things have been proven with him. So, and he was very close. He's so very close to P. Diddy. He's very close to R. Kelly. Sean Puffy Combs said, P. Diddy said that he's the only person that could call him Sean. When they're holding a conversation, they called each other that. Because Jay-Z And it's a very Jimmy Page as well, because Jimmy Page, as we know, never got over a certain type of woman, girl he wanted to date. So, and that's how I can discern. If you're being really Jimmy Page about it, then dude, you might want to step back. But if you're just being walking to the hotel bar, you see girls with drinks in your hand, and all you see is a fake ID that they have, it's not your fault, right? But so I mean, you are the company you keep, I guess, in a way, because you get comfortable doing certain things, because you don't feel like you're as wrong, or you feel kind of a little justified and not alone, so misery loves company is kind of that premise. And so it kind of does leave you, because like I said, before he was even dating Beyonce, he was interested in Aaliyah. He was seeing Blue Cantrell, who was 15, 16. Like I said, I cannot judge that. I would have to hear their personal stories, because I think everybody's personal story is different. We might have a lot of similarities, whether they're good or atrocious. But I think there's definitely, I mean, especially with predators, there's always going to be a similarity. There's going to be a want, a need, youthfulness, and a naivety, the ability to control the situation. So, and like I said, because it's like Dreamgirls to me, because if you watch that movie, the guy who is, the husband in that movie that marries Beyonce's character is very much the controller, the guru. She doesn't do a thing that he doesn't tell her to do, type of thing. And they became this power couple like that. But like I said, and he supposedly, this is all allegedly as well, was dating Beyonce at 16. Which, when you look at somebody, at Beyonce by the time she was 16 with Destiny's Child and, everything that she was living, that she was working towards, she was already kind of living a grown-up life. She was already kind of in a different frame of mind than people her age. She was making money. She was traveling the world. She was recording. She had a lot of responsibilities for crew, for managers, for this, for that. She was in very much an adult world. She bought her parents' houses, so I could see where she would want to date older, because she was like by the time I was 19, 20 years old, I wasn't dating a 20-year-old. Are you kidding? The life I had already led, I was in a very different world than a 19, 20-year-old boy my age. I had not just, grown up a lot quicker and had a very different world, view of the world. I had sat on private jets, toured, been places with the band all over the world. I had all this experience, so I can see where she would be more attracted to someone older. But is it attraction, or was it enticement in this situation? We don't know. That's something she's never said, because, she's very much, Beyonce stands very much by her husband and her baby daddy, So supposedly they were 16. He was 12 years older than her, so he would have been 28. But they really kind of, when she was 19 and he was 31, and, people kind of find that creepy. But still, I'm going back to, she was a very different person, raised in a very adult environment with very adult responsibilities. You go out on the road, you're the head of a corporation. When you're someone like Beyonce or Taylor Swift or Led Zeppelin or Metallica, you are the head of a corporation. You are the corporation. You have employees. You have obligations. You have marketing. You have to understand how to keep this business rolling. So, okay, I can kind of see about that, but the person who she was dating just did not have a really great history of dating women his own age. He seemed to like to groom them, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, he has Jimmy Page habits. And that is my red flag. Even with Jimmy Page, it's a red flag with me, And So that kind of, but and you know, her first boyfriend had said that Beyonce, the more she got famous, stuff like that, that she kind of started getting that big head, started changing, started having an attitude. Well, again, here we go. She's one of the heads of a corporation. She's living a very adult life. She's got managers, agents, parents, whatever, responsibilities that most of us working at Burger King at 16 will not have. So, let's see. Sorry, I've got my notes. Give me a second. So, as far as the allegations of, you know, the 13-year-old girl who has come forward, it would kind of make sense. And, you know, with Diddy in jail and stuff and the things that we do know about him, could there be clout to it? Yes, there could be some alleged clout to it. Does it make it true? No, it doesn't. Just like people call me a hooker, prostitute, murderer, druggie, we all know here that that is absolutely not true. But that's what's on people's mind because they need that decadent debauchery, so to speak, you know, because we all live vicariously for things that we don't do. Like I read historical biographies or, you know, go watch movies that I can live vicariously through. So, but I mean, this is to a point where, like I said, misery loves company, birds of a feather flock together. So, very close with Diddy and R. Kelly, things are not looking good when you're just kind of at a, when you're gathering evidence. Things aren't looking good, you know, because when you do look at convicts or thieves or drug dealers or whatever you want to say, look at the company they keep. Just like I'm a groupie, I keep company with rock stars. So, but like I said, he had Blue Cantrell, which I loved her stuff. He had Foxy Brown, he had Aaliyah, he had several other women like Rihanna, you know, Becky with the good hair, whatever, and Rihanna has kind of clapped back at Beyonce and them for clapping back at her through music, you know, and Jay-Z has admitted he has been unfaithful, but I think we all know, you know, and Rihanna has said that she was just held in this hotel room until she just was like, all right, I'm just going to do this to get the fuck out of here. You know, it's either doing this or I don't know what can happen to me if I don't give in, which we've all been there, ladies. Unfortunately, we've all been in some sort of situation like that. Maybe some men have too. Maybe a lot of people in between have been in that situation too. So, you just, it's like I said, somebody asked me to do a big favor. I did Kevin DeBrow. At least he had a big dick. Anywho, so, you know, that's that when you get that kind of personality because the people you're hanging around make it seem okay, that you become kind of free with it. You have power over them because you're in an industry. It just, you know, it can make for very, very sinister situations. You know, and I do have to say, with as far as this 13-year-old girl's situation is concerned, the court did recently, there were questions about location to where the house was, and if it was where she says it was, that it would have been out of New York jurisdiction. So be careful what we believe as far as, you know, he's able to ask the court to dismiss the case now, stuff like that. But for me, I don't know if it's so much factual thing because the girl's dad has been saying that, he does not remember picking her up. He does not remember anything like that happen because she said after she had everything go down with Diddy and Jay-Z and this very famous female woman in the room, she said she ran to a gas station and called her dad to come pick her up, which would have been a good, you know, 70 miles. It would have been a good little trip where he was at the time. So he says, I don't remember this. Then, you know, you would remember that. Mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, friend, whatever. You know when you went to pick someone up in that moment in time. And I am in no way, shape, or form trying to dispel anything. I'm just saying what's going on in court now. But because there is smoke where there's fire sometimes. And look at all the fire, like I said, with the previous, his wife, everything that he, MIA, the rapper, she's got a lot of stuff to say about it as well, because a lot of really amazing, talented artists, if they pissed one of these people off, they went MIA, so to speak, missing in action. Their careers dwindled. Where's Blue Cantrell? We all love that song. Ladies, if your man want to go buck wild. Yep. We all know that song. We loved it. It's just as iconic as to the left, you know? So, you know, and it's just, I don't see Beyonce doing anything to kind of, she took her name Carter away from her social media or something. You know, she's been kind of pulling away in certain ways, protecting her kids. Because we forget they have kids. She's a mom, you know. But it just seems like it's a situation where Jay-Z gets them young so he can make them into what they want to be. You know, not everybody's 16 like I was, 17, 18 like I was, and I already knew who I was. I walked the fuck out on James Hetfield because he said girlfriend and blowjobs only. I was like, bye, Felicia. And he let me out that room. But like Rihanna said, she didn't feel like she could get out of that room. What other situation did he put these other women in, from Aaliyah to Blue Cantrell to, you know, Foxy Brown to everybody else? What, you know? And when he got to Beyonce, who was so used to being molded into what the music industry wanted her to be, you know, and the singer and the prepared to be the solo singer and stuff, was it a prime situation for Jay-Z? You know, and you're a 13-year-old girl, you're going to a big mansion with some big rock stars that you're just discovering the music and they're very influential. Hold on, there's so many helicopters. It's all military. But anyway, probably can't hear him, but I can. It's driving me nuts. But so, I mean, at what point do we say that this was more than just me meeting David Lee Roth in a hotel hot tub, you know, and having a choice to, oh, no, this is something seriously, offensively, illegally wrong, you know, in so many different atrocious in so many different directions. And I think it is a pattern of behavior. And you put all this stuff and everybody's like, oh, there's so many conspiracy theories from how Pimp C passed away because of a supposed video of a situation that could destroy him. So many conspiracy theories come from that. And everybody's like, well, they do this. And they say, well, that's just the diamond for, but then some people say it's the Illuminati. Well, and Van Halen asked him what this is. Yeah. I found that out. People are like, don't do that. No, unless you want to do that to someone. I didn't know. But they're trying to say that this is Illuminati. We'll take it from someone, you know, that they're all part of the Masons and the secret society, and they're Satan worshipers because there is a woman that they are friends with that is a very well-known priestess for that religion and stuff like that. And, you know, it's like they try and link Wiccan, paganism, and everything, and the Masons, which we all know here that I was a rainbow girl, which is the women's side of the Masons, you know, and I never saw anything like what's being described going on here. So, I mean, it was a charitable society that where you learned how to be charitable, how to have a sisterhood, a brotherhood, you know, a family in this world, and go out and, you know, work together. But can people twist shit around? Oh, yeah, they can. They can make it dark. They can make it disgusting. They can lie to your face and turn around and want to go to Greenland. Because people get power hungry and they get their natural dark desires and atrocious desires become part of their ego, and their ego says, oh, you've gotten away with it so long. It's okay. You're going to be able to do this. It's okay to do this, when it's not. And in some of the stuff that I was watching in doing research, it kind of made me mad because they're like, well, he kept company with a lot of porn stars and actresses and stuff like that, strippers. So it's not about who he kept company with. It's about those moments that we are questioning right now. Those moments that why P. Diddy's in jail. And then Jay-Z has this lawsuit against him. It's all in the discovery. And what's in the discovery? Because a lot of people have kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth or passed away that were there that can't talk about it anymore or won't talk about it anymore. So it's just, and that was one of the things in this case with the 13-year-old girl, that a lack of witness. But because she was saying she talked to Benji Madden from the band, but then Benji proved that he was across the country on tour with his band. And I'm not trying to discredit and uphold anything, because if somebody did something wrong, then they should be held accountable. Plain and simple. You need help, you need to be in there, that's where you go. You did some atrocious things to people, to innocent people, to people who were not ready, that did not know, that you drugged, that you had to drug and force yourself to take what you wanted. No. You need to pay your time. So I'm not trying to say one side is better than the other and stuff like this. And, and the Masons are not satanic rituals from what I saw by any means. Yeah, but it's just, and Wanda Saltler-Wade, I think her name is. This is another person, because there's just so much evidence is pointing in a certain direction. If you write a checklist of do's and don'ts and you weigh your pros and cons, there's going to be more cons here than there are pros. Because Wanda Saltler-Wade, she was 16 when she got pregnant with, allegedly, Jay-Z's child. He has refused to take a paternity test. So we can't say whether it is or not. We can look at a picture and say, well, he does look a lot like it, but... And why is she staying quiet through all this? I mean, what reality does she know? If she looked back on her life meeting him at 16 years old, what would she say? If she really, really reached down and said, hey, I was... This, what, like I said, at the end of Dreamgirls, the character finds out that, God, she's been manipulated and lied to and used. She gave him everything because he molded her into the star and wife and everything that he wanted her to be. And she breaks free and does the right thing at the end and comes back and gets the band back together. And will Beyonce be doing that? Or is she going to stand by her man? Is she going to... say, hey, this never happened, but he's admitted to cheating. So does she know? The big question in court would be, do you know what your man's doing at all hours of the day? No, none of us do. We can have faith and trust and everything, but then a woman knows, a man knows. We all know. Whoever our partner is, whatever our partner is, we fucking know. We all get that gut instinct when something's not right, And what would happen to the world, if to their company, to their children, to her reputation, to her career and everything when this all goes down, because she's of course going to get the backlash of it. And if she was involved, then she should, and how much of her marriage was that conditioning, manipulation. She's a strong woman, but is she a strong woman by design in public? And then maybe not at home. She's more, and that's fine. Whatever your marriage is between two people, that's yours. I think hers tends to be more of a business because they're both in that business, and a lot of stuff does. Of course, there's going to be the personal side of it, but I think business takes up 70% of their marriage, I'm guessing. You have a power couple like that, it usually does. So how is she going to protect her business, not just her family, her marriage, herself, and her business? How is she going to react to that? And what will be the domino effect for her? Oh God, hold on. But there, and I mean, like I said, it just seems it's kind of like we saw with R. Kelly. We saw a pattern of behavior. We saw a pattern of, like with Jimmy Page, with the women he dates. You think those baby groupies in the 70s were the last chicks? Oh, fuck no. No. I keep, I know of other women with Jimmy Page. Why is it okay for Jimmy Page? Why is it okay when it's blatantly somebody seeking out a specific situation that's very Lolita in style, Um, and what will come out in the wash? Because, like I said, it took a minute for P. Diddy, everything to come out with P. Diddy, and that domino effect is hitting him hard right now. Hitting him hard, and how is it going to hit Jay-Z? And how is it going to hit the victims in this lawsuit? How will this move forward? And how many, because in everything we know, when there are true victims coming together to do something like that, there's always going to be one person that sneaks in that's just there for the money and the clout and to be riding the coattails, whatever, the attention. There's going to be, I've experienced personally a cry wolf when it came to assault. We all know the story about Tisha and Izzy Stradlin. I've done it. It's about a year or so ago, 2 years ago maybe, a cautionary tale, and it's got the Salt Palace cover on the thumbnail. Go find it. Because so I have to kind of weigh what I know from that situation to this situation, but I do find credibility in a lot of what some of these women are saying, what their bodyguards are saying, what people who are associated with them saying. Jaguar Wright, all these people, they've been consistent. So how are the chips going to fall with this? It's strange to find, like I said, people think it's the Illuminati. No, it's just like we just found out on one of the chat platforms that 70,000 men discussed how to assault women, or how they did assault women. So there was this 70,000 chat that's been going on for years that we didn't know about. That is like, whoa, what the hell? What's going on? How can these people be bragging about it? Because they find the company in which they have a comfort zone, in which it's okay. So you kind of keep going. You kind of keep saying that I'm not doing anything wrong. Look how many other people I'm hanging out with. And you know what? When you have to put roofies in someone's drink, you're doing something wrong. Period. When you are taking someone who's naive and not letting them walk out of the hotel room and make their own choices like I had, you're doing something wrong. So it's going to be interesting, because it's not going to be what's going to happen with this big lawsuit and with the 13-year-old girl, but what's going to happen with Beyonce, what's going to happen with people around them. Who else is going to fall? And how is it going to affect a lot of other stuff? Because, I'm afraid of that. Sorry, there's just some slamming doors going on, but if you go on YouTube and you just kind of look for Jay-Z and Beyonce, if you go on YouTube and you just look up Jay-Z and Beyonce, you're going to see so many different things, from the conspiracy theory sides to a rational side, to sides that side with him, to sides that side with that, with the victims. Excuse me, I'm just a mess right now. So it's we need to make an educated decision. But like I said, misery loves company. So do criminals and people like that. As we apparently found out, that. Well, I believe it's on Threads or something like that. It was just a chat going on for years. So is this their chat room that has been going on for years? Is this their back room where it's okay? And people have been caught lying to protect them as well. So we'll see. I mean, you know how I feel. If you if you assaulted, if you hurt somebody, stole from somebody, burnt their house down, whatever, if you did something that you need to pay a penance for, then you should be paying that penance. You should always hear other people in their and stick with your own age sometimes. I mean, I just think that I think things did go a little, not a little, but I don't know. Like I said, we'll have to see because so many things support why penances should be paid. So many things do. And there's already 2 other friends out of this little friend group that are paying that penance as we speak, that are sitting in jail. One's already tried, bag, tag, done. He's out of here. Right? So, and when you refuse to take a paternity test for someone who got pregnant at 16, that might not show that you are not the daddy. You know what I mean? I mean, like Jerry Lee Lewis's career was ruined, but Elvis's was golden. So society had double standards. And, sometimes, and I do this kind of action from atrocious people worries me because, like I said, it was very much the opposite situation for me. I had a fake ID. I went looking for these guys. They had no clue. I will defend them till the day I die. I was not manipulated. I was not groomed. I was nothing like that. I was just who I wanted to be. So I have to take a step back and say, as far as just like a judge would, just like a jury would. I mean, as a society, I think we condemn people so quick, whether they're the victim or the criminal in the situation. I think we have to step back and kind of really educate ourselves on the reality. And why is Beyonce sticking with him for so long? If this is who he is, are you that groomed? But then again, I had a father who was married to a woman for 27 years who abused him verbally, emotionally, mentally, physically. I mean, her plea deal was supposed to be yesterday. Her plea, guilty or not guilty, was supposed to be yesterday. And she's playing the court again, saying, oh, I'm in the hospital. I'm on hospice. No, the fuck you are, bitch. People like that, I mean, needs to be in jail. She's manipulated things for so long. So I know somebody that's like these people that have manipulated situation that's been abusive. Guys are not supposed to be the abuse victims. It's only women. And, how is society going to react? How is it going to... And you know what, Beyonce, forget your career. Fuck it. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. Do the right thing. Shall do the right thing. Pay your penance before you have to fucking rot in hell because, if people get away with the atrocious things like stealing money, like abusing somebody, when you're in an abusive relationship and you are conditioned and you don't even know it, you don't know that you have to leave. When you know that you are, like I was in my relationship with that little guy back, my childhood sweetheart from Missouri, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I was just so emotionally and mentally abused and raped by him. And I could feel myself dying. But you don't want to admit that to yourself. And, and I think that's what a lot of people, why people are coming out now, because we have a bigger platform. We have a safe space to speak about that. I think every one of us have, no matter who you are, what you are, in this world, we've all faced some sort of fucked up shit like this that we were too afraid to say about, or we were too in denial about, or we just went into total mental breakdowns over, so that's how I feel Beyonce is. She was very much conditioned to be who she is these days. Just like her main character in Dreamgirls, just like that's who they are, but it's a darker, more fucked up reality. So, it's one thing to be a power couple. Awesome. Yeah, you guys go. You built a fucking empire. Badass being a power couple. But it's another thing to be a power couple who is up to some fucked up shit. So that's not power at all. That's fear mongering, control, manipulation. That's just pure evil. So, but tell me guys what you think down in that description. Let me know how you feel about what you know that I haven't touched on, because there were so many things that I looked at that I just couldn't get in. I mean, it seems to be this like kind of never ending rabbit hole. And it's like, oh my God, what the fuck were these people up to while I was hanging out backstage? Because I was at a Diddy party in Vegas where this one woman had taken a picture that said she had never met Diddy or Jay-Z, but she was there standing right next to him in the picture. I think that was the same party I was at. And the vibes there were just, they would get me out of here. Get it off of me. Get it off. Bye. I think I was there maybe half an hour. It wasn't even an hour I stayed at that whole party. You know, they checked everything, made sure my toes, they looked me up and down, made sure I was put together well before I could even go into that party. You know, no roots in my hair, makeup done just right, nails, the whole 9 yards. You know, so it's like, I felt before I even walked in there that I was in this world of control and manipulation, and you had to live up to standards, and if you didn't, what were the consequences? Guess we're finding out now, aren't we? So, power, money, hungry, that's just your ego. People, step out of your fucking egos. Power, oligarchy, all that shit, it's fucked up. Really. I mean, why is 1% of the world controlling the rest of us? And why is 1% of that world controlling in such ways? Because like we talked about in the Puffy, in the P Diddy episode that I did, is it a learned behavior because this is things that were done to them? You know, is it something that they find, oh, just absolutely normal? You know, like I call eggs in a hat, you know, the egg in the piece of bread. Some people call it toad in a hole. Some people call it eggs in a hat. Some people call it eggs in a bag or whatever, you know. So we all have different things about ourselves, but when is it just wrong? When do you stop? How do we stop it? So, because yeah, some of the things everything that goes on in the dark is going to be brought to the light. I just choose to bring my fucking shit to the light on my own. Whew, good Lord. This is just going to get uglier. But like I said, victims need their justice and criminals need to pay their penance. You know, like I said, I'm going through a situation where a criminal who tried to unalive my father and stole over $100,000 out of his account, she may never see the jail. I want jail to be her last stop before hell. Nothing wrong with what those victims want. So, yeah, I know someone who manipulates the system, and I just, yeah, it's so many, I have to weigh so many different things that I've seen personally to what's rumor, what's not, where's reality in all this, because even in all the twisted rumors and conspiracy theories and stuff, the victims get lost. So, you know, I think there needs to be kind of a straightforward look at things, actual evidence. So, yeah, tell me what you guys think down in that description. I'm going to, because I know I've kind of babbled about this throughout the whole episode, because it really it's things that baffle me, that I can't believe this is going on in rock and roll world that I personally to this day feel content, safe, happy, and comfortable in. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me more stuff down in that description. You know, yeah, tell me your opinions. I'd like to hear other stuff, other people, what they think about this, and what things that I haven't heard yet, or, you know, what's going on. Because, like I said, the court has now granted Jay-Z's team things that benefit their side. But there's also things like they were trying to force her to come out publicly, which is, no. You don't force that. That, to me, is a control move. So, But, all right, you guys, thank you so much for staying through the episode, through my babble. Like I said, tell me what you think down in those comments. Tell me if you've experienced anything like this. You know, how it affects your view on it. And if you're just hanging out here, if you're new here, you're just haunting us, and you're not really part of the family yet, go right ahead. Go down while in the comments, join the family. Like I said, a lot of really cool people here. Nobody's going to get mad if you join a conversation. The family here is just absolutely amazing. And hit that subscribe while you're going down. I like it when you subscribe and go down. It's fun. But yeah, so hit the subscribe, hit the share. Let's grow this. I really want to get to 10,000 just so I can get the plaque. I really, if anybody can give me advice on how to shop this to a movie deal or stuff like that. And you guys also, please, send all your love, thoughts, healing energy to everybody out in LA. Kristen, a lot of people I know are displaced right now. Sybil, so many amazing people. Our lovely ladies, Melody, who we've had interviews here with. Send all the love and light, the healing, the safety to everybody out in LA because everybody's lost a lot of stuff. Kristen and her family are safe that I know of. They're evacuated pretty early, so send a lot of love and light, prayers, whatever you want to do. Send it to their way so that everybody out there is healing because that's just terrifying. So terrifying. So many ways. But all right, you guys, hit the like, hit my bells. We'll see you next time on Cocktails and Rocktails. Cheers, figures.